Hey everyone, Niharika here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am a recent international medical graduate from India and I've applied for Match 2025 and I'm waiting on the match results. Thank you so much to all of those who are wishing me luck through their comments and messages. Let's hope for the best. So today I've got you another very interesting video which is about the exam day, like your USMLE step exam day and how you prep for it. Like I've not seen a lot of people talk about it again because I try to make most of the videos which are not repetitive, which are solely based on my experiences and they are not just repeating the stuff which other people are doing. So I try to rely on my experiences. I try to give you the best advice possible. So I know that the exam day can feel very, very overwhelming, and even the thought of the exam day can, trigger you. So it used to trigger me a lot while I was preparing for my step exams, especially step one, as I already mentioned in my step one journey video that I couldn't even think about the exam day. It was so scary to me, like sitting for an 8 hour, 9 hour long exam, and how would that feel? I did not have a clue where I'd be sitting, what kind of an environment would be there, what are the things that I could do to make the day feel better and a little easy. And also, if you haven't checked out my video on step one journey, like my story and recommendations and everything, you have to go and check that out. I hope that helps you. Today, we're going to be talking about, again, the things which are not very much spoken about, and let's dive right in. So the first thing that I would want to talk about is not exactly the exam day, but a few days before the exam and especially the night before the exam. So I totally understand that revisions are going on and you might be feeling very overwhelmed, because trust me, I used to feel very triggered and overwhelmed while I was preparing for my step exams, because I did not have a clue, especially before my step one, that what's the environment's gonna like, how am I going to survive an 8 hour long exam. And I was just so overwhelmed. But I really hope that I could concise all my experiences into this video and it helps you a lot. One thing that I would want to highly suggest would be, like, do the new concepts and topics 1 week before the exam. Don't do it after that, because there is a lot of information that you have to have in your brain at one point and it could be a little difficult. So don't think that you're going to take the low yield topics and try to squeeze it in your brain, because trust me, doing high yield topics is far more better than doing the ones that you have left out or probably they are not so high yield. So don't worry about those. So in a nutshell, I'm trying to say that don't try to introduce newer topics that are not very high yield just before the exam. Again, one little tip would be that probably a month before the exam, try doing meditation, especially mindfulness meditation, which focuses on your breath, or probably you could go up and down your body, like thinking about it and focusing on different parts of your body, because that would help you a lot. That can increase your efficiency in the exam. In case your brain starts wandering during the exam, it can help with that. It will try to soothe out any anxiety that you have before the exam, or for that matter during the exam. So that's really helpful. I try to do the breathing technique and you can do whatever you like. Okay, so now talking about sleep, which is very important before the exam. Like, I would highly suggest that you fix your sleeping schedule according to the exam. For example, the exam is at 8 a.m. So try to sleep and wake up according to that, so that your brain functions during that time of the day. Like, some people, they like to study at night, some during the day, some early in the morning, some late at night, anything. But try to fix your sleeping schedule so that it aligns with the actual timing of the test, which helps. So for sleep in general, what I would suggest, and it worked for me a little bit and you can try it for yourself if you want it, would be that, for example, your exam is on day 3. So on the night of day 1, you have to sleep really early so that you can wake up on day 2 really early. You can probably exercise and everything. So day 2 is the day before your exam. So you can probably exercise, revise and do everything, whatever you want, exhaust yourself so that you go to bed early on day 2, so that you can wake up early on day 3, which is the day of the exam. So you're getting my point? That probably 2 nights before the exam, you try to sleep early so that you wake up very early 1 day before the exam, so that you can get exhausted and actually sleep peacefully before the night of the exam. That helps a little bit. Sometimes you are so anxious about the exam that you cannot actually sleep a night before the exam. So that has happened with me for step 2. But do not worry, try to put yourself to sleep. Don't try any medications like benzodiazepines. I will not recommend taking anything before the exam, because that can have an effect on your exam. What if you feel sleepy during the exam because of that medication? So don't do anything. Don't take any caffeine out of your time that you don't actually take caffeine normally, so don't do that. One thing that I usually did, which really helped me was, and it still helps me, is that podcasts, they put me to sleep. So I used to put Divine Intervention podcast, and I used to channelize my energy towards the podcast, and it actually put me to sleep. So I still remember that a night before my step 2 exam, Divine Intervention podcast, it put me to sleep, and that night was very difficult for me to sleep. So trust me, it works if you can try, but make sure that you have a decent amount of sleep a night before the exam. Don't wake up just to revise topics and stuff, because that will not help. Trust your journey, trust your preparation, trust yourself that you have done enough and you have it in your head, and whenever the question is like that, your brain is gonna apply the concept and you'll get the right answer. So don't worry about that. Now comes what to pack. Okay, so starting with the 2 most important things would be government issued ID, which was my passport, and I think it's passport only for most of the people, and again, it's the scheduling permit. Although they say that you can show your scheduling permit on your phone, but I will still recommend to print it out, because you never know. Then comes food, which is very important. I still remember what I had for all 3 of my step exams. One thing that I would want to tell you is that if you are a frequent water drinker, make sure you take a transparent water bottle without any labels, without anything written on it, and they will let you take it inside the exam hall. So that becomes very easy, because then when you come out, you don't have to waste time drinking water. So that would be helpful. Just make sure you take anything which is light for you. Don't take parathas and stuff which will make you feel sleepy. One thing that has helped me immensely, and that is the thing that I took for my step 3, and that was dry fruits. Take almonds, walnuts, cashews, whatever you want, raisins, anything, like any dry fruit. They are very high in energy. They won't let you sleep. They will give you a lot of satiety, and they are probably the best foods that you could probably take to your exam hall. Like, they won't let you take it in the hall, but to the center. Then probably you can try chocolate. Chocolate is really good. I took Ferrero Rocher probably for my step 3, and whenever I used to feel a little bit sleepy during the block, then I told myself that, look, I'm gonna reward myself with a Ferrero Rocher once I'm done with this block nicely, and then I used to eat that. So that's a wonderful thing that you could do. Don't forget to take coffee. I love coffee during my breaks between the blocks. I loved coffee. I loved the kick of it. It all depends on what you want to take. Things that worked for me were coffee, chocolate, dry fruits, and very light meals. So you can try that. Then comes your medications. There are a lot of people who take medications as in all the medications, but since I have migraines, so they could possibly get triggered, and they did during the exam, because I was looking at the screen for so long. That is why I had to take painkillers like NSAIDs. You can take whatever medication you like, but don't forget your medications. One of the best things that I did, and I really regret not doing it during my step 1, was not taking a lubricant eye drop during the exam. Oh my god, it was a savior. I took those little lubricant tear drops for my eyes, because they used to become so dry while looking at the screen. Then, they were fantastic, and I used to put them in my eyes at each and every break, and they were wonderful. Like, they kept my eyes so moist. I did not get a migraine. I did not feel sleepy because of it. It was like as if I've splashed water in my face. I loved it. So you can try this. This is a wonderful, wonderful hack to try during the exam. Then make sure that you keep a jacket is very, very important. Prometric centers could be very, very cold. Since I feel very, very cold, that is why I always carry a jacket all throughout my step exams. Then you can take any extra stuff that you like lip balm, hand cream, tissues, whatever you like. Also, one thing that you again have to carry with you for sure during the exam would be the right type of mindset. So one of my friend introduced me to this mindset called the warrior mindset, which is that while you're preparing for the exam for months, so your brain gets wired in the sense that probably at a particular point you feel that, oh my god, I don't know this thing and that thing, but once the question is in front of you, your brain is automatically going to give you the concept and the right kind of an answer. So that is the warrior mindset, that your brain knows that, look, when I have to survive, I have to survive. So make sure you have the right kind of mindset. You have to be motivated and you have to trust yourself and trust your preparation, and I know that you will do good. Now comes the kind of clothes that you want to wear. Look, these are very, very little things that nobody talks about, but trust me, they can save you so much time on the exam day, because the checking process could be long and it's done always while you're going in and out of the exam hall. So that checking time is taken from your break time. So you could use all that time for your break that is being taken up. For the kind of clothes that you have to wear, make sure they do not have pockets. That's like the biggest thing. Do not wear anything that has pockets because it takes so much of time to check them. Make sure you wear something where your ankles are visible so that you don't have to pull up your pants again and again. For shoes, wear something comfortable like Crocs, which are easily removable. Make sure you wear a jacket because Prometric centers can be very, very cold, but jacket without pockets. Don't wear any jewelry because that's gonna be checked. And lastly, even if you have a tattoo, that's completely okay. Like I have a tattoo here and it's written, like something is written, so it will not have any problem. Because trust me, while I was getting a tattoo, I think 2-3 years back, I did think about it that what if they don't let me enter the Prometric center because they were thinking that I was cheating or something. But it's not like that. They're totally cool with it. Now we come to the second part, which is arriving at the center. So I would highly recommend that you reach the center 45 minutes before the beginning of the exam. So if your exam is at 8, which is at 8, make sure you reach the center by 7:15 or even by 7, because you know the checking in process and you getting used to the environment, it takes time, right? You have to take a locker and everything. Sometimes what happens is that because the place is new, you take time to reach the Prometric center, as in you have to find it in that building and everything, which floor is the Prometric center, and you might have to ask people. So make sure that you have enough time in hand and you are not hurrying up so that it doesn't build anxiety in you before the exam. I don't want that. Once you enter the Prometric center, they're gonna check your ID, they're gonna check your scheduling permit, and then they're gonna give you a key to your locker. So then you go and put all your stuff in the locker, and then you sit for a while. You can probably use the washroom, which I highly recommend you do before starting the exam, and then you finally start with the exam. But before starting the exam, I would like to tell you, how do you arrange your locker? Like, you don't have to put all the stuff inside your bag and then you have to because then you have to open the locker, take out your bag, then you take out the stuff. No, don't do that. Like, put your phone and other things which you don't need inside the bag and then push it towards the end of the locker. And everything that you will require again and again, like probably a small water bottle, your teardrops, your dry fruits, your lip balm, your tissues, whatever, you have to put it exactly in the front of the locker and then close it, so that whenever you open the locker, you have all the stuff you need right in front of you and you can use it right away. So that's like a wonderful hack which, you know, I also learned, and I don't want you to waste time in it. So everything that you need is readily available in. So now I'm gonna be telling you how the exam environment's gonna be. So if you have ever visited a cyber cafe, you would know how people have their individual cubicles while being in the same room. It's just like that. And as you enter the exam hall, there are going to be several such cubicles, and people who are going to be sitting with you, they are giving separate exams. So probably in a room where a number of people can sit, only 3 or 4 are giving the same exam as you, but otherwise all the other people, they are giving a different exam. So they are also going to give you a normal headphone and a noise cancelling headphone. So you can utilize the noise cancelling headphones if you are encountering any disturbances, or if you need them but they are super tight and kind of uncomfortable. So I didn't use them, but you have to check your headphones, see if the cursor and everything is working. One more thing I wanted to tell you was that for rough sheets, they're gonna give you laminated sheets and markers. Make sure as you enter the exam hall with your laminated sheets, you write down all your biostatistics formulas and your tables, like biostatistics tables, so that it's convenient for you to readily apply it. And there's also a number, I don't know what that number is called, but whenever you take a break and you come back, you have to type that number again. That's kind of a login ID, and you can erase stuff from that, you can rewrite on that, and once it's full, you can return it and get a new sheet. So going into the hall, I've already mentioned that there's going to be like a full checking of yours with all your clothes and stuff. They are also going to take your fingerprint, they're going to give you laminated sheets. You're finally in the exam hall and you're going to be starting with your exam. Also skip the tutorial, like don't waste your time in the tutorial, because I guess it's 15 minutes and they're gonna take that time from your break. So if you skip 15 minutes of tutorial, you're gonna get a 1 hour break, which is very important. So in case you want to see how the tutorial is, you can check it out on one of the websites, which is one of the official websites. I don't exactly remember if that's on NBME or UWorld website. You can check that out. And in case you are wondering what the interface looks like at the desktop, so it's exactly same as the UWorld, just a little bit different font. You can increase the font, decrease the font, and it's just like UWorld and how you use it, like the strike through feature, like highlighting stuff, all of that is exactly the same, even flagging questions. So don't worry about that. One thing that I would want to tell you beforehand would be, since a lot of other people would be giving their own exams, be prepared for a little bit of disturbance, because a lot of people, they are typing, probably coughing, going in and out of the exam hall. So make sure you don't get distracted and just be prepared for a little bit of a disturbance, which is like a normal disturbance. So while giving the exam, don't worry about the harder questions. If you have a doubt during the question, just flag it, okay? I would highly recommend that you mark an answer like before you flag it, but make sure you check all the flagged questions before you end the block. Like what my strategy used to be was, there are 40 questions in a single block and we have 1 hour to complete one block. So my target was to complete, like review all the questions at least once in 40 minutes, so that I have 20 minutes to go through all the flagged questions or the harder questions. So that is what I used to do, and this strategy helped me a lot, because then your brain kind of relaxes that, oh, thank God, I have at least 20 minutes to review the harder questions and I'm done with all the 40 questions at once. Now coming to an important topic, which is how I took my breaks and what did I do during my breaks. So the first most important thing would be that you have to take the break and you have to use the restroom, because sometimes we can feel that no, we don't want to take a break or we don't want to use the restroom, but then in another block you are going to be stuck for 1 hour and you like cannot take a break in between. So I have seen a lot of people who do like 2 blocks straight and then take a break. I don't know, it didn't work for me. I'd never tried it. Always taking a scheduled break after every block and then using the restroom was my way of doing it. I used to then open up my locker, have some dry fruits, put teardrops in my eyes, go to the washroom, use it, come back. If like initially the breaks are used to be super short, like I used to go do my stuff and come back, right? But as you progress during the exam, you know that how much time is left and can you afford to take a little more time during the subsequent breaks. So I would just say that take the breaks as you like. I never planned my breaks, as in I never knew that okay, I'm gonna take a 5-minute break and then a 10-minute break, then a 15-minute break, then a 5-minute break. No, I never did that. I knew that I had to get up, go to the washroom, then like do little stuff and then come back. I never scheduled them. I then took subsequent breaks depending on how much time was left. If I wanted to have lunch, when was I hungry and everything. So you can do and customize the breaks according to yourself. You can probably meditate during the break, or probably hum a song, stretch a little bit. Stretching is really, really good. I used to go to the washroom, I used to stretch like my joints, my neck, my shoulders, because sitting there and sitting for such a long time used to make my muscles very tough. So I used to stretch a lot during the breaks. Make sure you do not use your phone, although you are allowed to access your phones between the breaks, but like don't do it, because there could be unnecessary text messages. You would try to look up things in your phone unless they are very, very necessary. Like sometimes we are stuck on a question thinking that oh my god, what was the answer, I'm not able to recollect that. Probably that's the only time you can access your phone, but I would highly recommend do not use your phone, especially to call people, text people. Do not do that. Sometimes what happens is that probably a block is a bit difficult and then we start worrying about it and then we mess up the subsequent blocks. Don't worry about it. Once a block is done, it's done forever. You cannot change it. You can't do anything about it. Being happy or sad about it will not change anything. So make sure that once a block is done, however it was, if it was bad or good, just don't think about it and focus on the subsequent blocks. Otherwise you're going to mess up the subsequent blocks as well. You can even take a fruit or a protein bar for your exam breaks. I would highly recommend, like while you are simulating the exam, try to simulate these kind of environments as well and try to eat that stuff, and whatever suits you, like you can take that in the exam. I think that's a very good way of doing it, and trying to figure out all these little things while simulating the exam really helps you on the exam day. And again, approaching the questions during the exam is whole another video. Like how do you approach UWorld questions and how you move past the hard ones and everything. That's like a different video in itself. So let me know if you want that video. And finally, now your exam is over and you are at the end of it. So sometimes what used to happen was, especially during my step 3, because it's a 2-day exam, I just had a 1-day break between those 2 days. I used to feel so happy just realizing that it's gonna be the end of my step exams and I'm gonna be done with the steps forever. And I used to become progressively happy as each and every block used to pass. So I would just say that give a little bit of credit to yourself that finally you're going to be done with that particular step exam, which is, I think, a huge milestone for anyone who is doing this USMLE journey. Because sitting for an 8-hour exam, 9-hour exam, and that too thrice, not thrice, even more than 3 times, because step 3 is a 2-day exam, is I think a huge achievement. So make sure you give yourself credit at the end of the exam. Be proud of yourself. If at the end of the exam you are thinking that you're gonna fail, and if you feel like that, so trust me, everybody feels like that, especially after step 2. I think everybody feels that they're gonna fail the exam. So just breathe, take a break, take a vacation, and just be proud of yourself that your exam is finally over. Don't think about the blogs, don't discuss the questions, don't worry about it. It's gone, it's done and dusted, and now you just have to be happy that it's done. One thing I would want to tell you guys would be that a lot of people think that the questions are going to be very difficult, but the truth is that it's going to be a mix of all kinds of questions. Most of the questions are easy to decently difficult questions that you can manage. Only a little bit of the questions are like very, very difficult and challenging. So trust me that whatever questions you have practiced during UWorld, they are enough for you to actually get the taste of what the real exam is gonna be. Trust me, you have everything that you need to succeed. And that's it for this video, and I hope it helps you a lot. Make sure you like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Again, I'll link down my email ID in the description of this video. Check out my other videos in case you have any queries or you have certain topics that you want me to make a video on. Let me know. Until then, we'll meet in another video. Bye.